It's episode 128 of Left Side Heavy, the podcast, presented by Blue Wire. It's just your boys today, Jevon and Hayden. Um, I guess you can call me your daddy now because I beat you this week in fantasy football.
Man, dude, my fantasy teams have been so underwhelming lately. I saw a stat today from about Lamar Jackson. It's like, guess how many touchdowns he had in the first 2 weeks
I'm gonna say like total touchdowns.
total.
I'm gonna say like nine.
Mm, first 2 weeks, yeah,
He
yeah,
had nine,
yeah. None. Guess how many he's had since?
seven.
Three.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been fucking me, man. But it's like he's like a running back. You can't bench him. And then Alvin Kamara, I know we've bitched about it enough. Zero touchdowns for the
That's
whole
insane.
year.
That's more insane to me than the Lamar Jackson one.
Well, honestly, yeah and no, because it's like Taysom Hill just fucking takes all
No,
of
but
Kamara's stuff.
usually Kamara will have one.
You'd think, right?
Like the it's
And
just the
there has
stat of
been. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
It's
go
just the
on.
stat of having 0 that's more surprising than the Lamar one.
Yeah,
If Kamara was like, "Yeah, Kamara only has 3," and it's like, "Alright, well, like, running backs can have, like, slow starts," but this is next level to a slow start. Like, this is just
yeah,
at this point, it's not even a slow start, it's just he's having a bad year.
yeah. Well, he's not even having a bad year statistically. He's having his best rushing years, like as a New Orleans Saint. It's just no touchdowns. Like
It
every week, he's put up 12 plus points for me on, even non-PPR leagues. Like, he's that good, but he's just no touchdowns to capitalize it, you know what I mean?
yeah, that's crazy.
Like, he got in the point for first down, he got me, like, 16, and then last week, he got me, like, 22. It's like, add a touchdown on there, 16 goes to 22, 22 goes to 28, and it's like, "Holy fuck, man." Changes
Yeah.
the whole outcome or the perspective that I see it, but, like, I don't know. I just think I shouldn't make any stupid bets. Like I thought, or let me know how you think about this. So you bet Alvin Kamara to have, let's just say 10 touchdowns this year. What is the price of money that you would put on that? That you're like rushing and receiving?
Like, is it, like, just in general, or is there, like, a
Yeah,
line
like
I'm
let's say
basing
you
that
just
off
made
of?
it. No, let's just say like you made a bet with me, like a friendly bet to me. Like how much money would you be okay losing with?
I'd probably make, like, a $20 bet that he would, just
Okay.
because I don't got a lot of money to lose.
See, that's fair. I made a $50 bet with my dad saying that he would get 13 touchdowns, but if he misses 7 games, then it's not like a thing. So either I need his suspension to kick in or he needs to tear an ACL. I'm kidding. I don't want him
Uh,
to do that. I don't want anything to happen. He's a great player. It's just I'm getting absolutely dogged with 0
yeah.
touchdowns. And then yeah, even in that league, like it's just tough, man. So tough. 'Cause you
Yeah,
go into
I
the week and you're, like, projected 140, you come out with, like, 99, you look at your actually, no, I was the most efficient manager,
yeah.
so what can I say?
Also, Andy Dalton getting me 40 points against you didn't
Dude,
help.
if he had 20, I would've beat you, that's the
Yeah,
worst part.
and the thing
Oh
is, you
my
look at
god.
Andy Dalton's stat line without the points, he had,
Mhm.
like, 3 interceptions, 4 touchdowns. Like, it didn't look like a 40-point
It looked like
performance.
a how would you say,
25
like
point maybe, like, it didn't even look that, like, amazing,
yeah.
but I look and I'm like, "How does this equate to 40 points?"
Some way, somehow, man.
Yeah, it doesn't
No,
really make any sense.
I think the funniest part was I told Shaden, like, on Wednesday night and Thursday morning, I was like, "Honey, pick up Arizona's defense because Philly's not playing. I think it could be like an absolute defensive scrum, like
Yeah,
19 points scored for one team, 12 for another, something stupid." And I was like, that should at least equate to around, a guaranteed 8 or 10 points, if there's
yeah,
sacks. And then fuck, they were down to like 4 points because they got a 51-yard touchdown score on them. It was 14 to 6, and then just back-to-back picks with touchdowns. I'm like, what the
Didn't they
fuck?
finish with, like, 22 points or something?
21 points in the final
Yeah.
3.5 minutes. Yeah, yeah, kill me, dude. Absolutely kill me.
That video of Dalton turning around to the
Walking
bench
away,
and then
yeah,
Buda Baker, Byron Murphy, whoever it was, just diving into the end zone
doing
is
a
one of
front flip, yeah.
yeah, it's one of the best videos of all time.
Yeah, it's a great video.
But, we're gonna kinda continue the sadness from your team onto my team, but except we're gonna switch it over to the ice before we touch on the NFL
So then our
Because
team
the Canucks are still winless. We last week, when we were recording
with
with Tanner,
Tanner.
it was during the Columbus game going into overtime, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
right? Was it the Columbus one or was it the
Yeah, it
mini
was
one?
Columbus. It was
Yeah,
Columbus,
because
yeah.
Canucks played mini on Thursday.
Yeah.
So we'll start there. We'll start at the Minnesota game.
Okay.
Uh, they did not blow a multi-goal lead, but they blew 2 goal 2 they blew 2 leads. They were up 2-1 and they were up 3-2, and we lost in overtime. The defense looked abysmal,
Mhm.
and if we had to bring one positive out of this game is that their 4th line looked great,
Yes.
of Joshua, Amon, and Lazar. They
Mhm.
looked great. They were causing turnovers. They scored 2 out of our 3 goals. So, it was it wasn't didn't really have high expectations going to this game because Minnesota's also bad, but, like, Canucks are worse than them right now. So it's like it wasn't gonna be a great game from either side, but I was hoping at least we'd win that one, like, come on.
Mhm.
But do you have anything to touch on for the Minnesota game?
I mean, I didn't really watch the Minnesota game considering my eyes were on another abysmal Thursday night game, but the highlights of it, yeah, man, it's so tough because you're like, "Oh, Minnesota is kind of in a bad place right now," but it's like Vancouver's in a worse place, and I don't understand why. I mean, it's not just one answer, right? Like, it's the defense, it's the coaching, it's the special teams. There's so many different answers to why we could be the way we are, but it's just frustrating, man. Like, how have we gone, what is it now, 7 games? And like, even if we're up, we're like, yeah, we're like the Falcons right now. Like,
Yeah.
trust the process, bro. We'll fumble the bag one way or another.
Yeah, any sort of goal we score, I don't get excited because I just know it's probably not gonna mean anything. That's when, like, you're at an
Mhm.
all-time low with your team, is when you can't even be happy that your team's doing what they're supposed to do is score. But
Yeah.
it's like they can't do the other half of what they're supposed to do, and they can't defend shit.
Mhm.
But I wanna go to, like, the probably the worst possible scenario any team could be in is, uh, 5 games in. So you've went 0 and 5 on your road trip. You brought home 2 points out of a possible 10, leaving Minnesota. Terrible. Terrible. Out of 10, you only get 2 and you don't get a win. Home opener. It has to go up from here, right? It has
No.
to. No, it doesn't. Canucks lose 5-1 to Buffalo, who give Buffalo credit. They've done more than overachieve or even not even overachieve, just kind of continue on a promising end of last year. They are playing very well, so you got to give them credit. They're not the old Buffalo Sabres where it was like basically an easy W every night. They're a lot more competitive. The young guys are developing at a very promising pace. So I knew it would be a tougher game than past years we've played Buffalo. It wasn't a guaranteed win, but I thought we'd play better. Hayden, when I tell you that I've had decent luck, because I was at the game,
Mhm.
I've had decent luck when I've gone to Canucks games. Florida was at the top of the league and we beat them like 7-2. Like I've had my obviously I've been
Last year, we lost
to
a close game against Colorado,
yeah.
3-2.
Like obviously, even if they lose, they've been competitive, right?
Mhm.
Like, the games have been entertaining. If anything, we're the team coming back to win or at least make it close. We lost 5-1 tonight, and when I tell you that it was just one of the most pathetic performances I've ever seen Vancouver play is an understatement.
Oh, yeah.
At no point in the game did they even look like, I guess there was just parts of the games where they weren't even trying to like develop anything. They were only dumping and chasing and playing
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree, and even when I was watching the game last night, I'm gonna kinda relate to this last night because I don't know how many times I counted a dump and chase or a drop back, like, 10 feet away from the blue line. It's like, whoever has the puck, just take it into the zone, man.
Yeah.
Like, don't leave it. You're so predictable, you know? You're not changing it up at all. It's just, and I know that's mostly on coaching because if you don't do what they say, like, to do, they're gonna get pissed. But it's like, we can't, are we insane? Like, the definition of insanity is doing something more than once and expecting a different outcome. There's no different outcome to this, you know? Like, we get up on amazing shots from our players, and then we just fall apart,
Yeah.
and it's frustrating. And let me ask you one question. Did you see the fans who threw their jerseys on the ice?
I didn't see the fans exactly, but I just saw each jersey thrown on like after the fact.
Man,
Yeah, so 3 jerseys were thrown on the ice,
I
and
think it was 5 totaled at the end.
I only counted 3, but
I heard on the radio it was 5, but
oh, then
obviously
that
you were there.
but also I could have easily missed 2,
Yeah.
but I knew it was, like, around 3, so, like, but I heard from sources that it was 3 jerseys. I thought I may have counted 4, but now apparently it's 5. It was 3 to
Who
5
knows?
jerseys thrown on the ice, but if you even get 1 jersey thrown on the ice, you know it's bad, and this is the first game in Vancouver this year, and 5 jerseys are thrown on the ice. Like, JT Miller is saying, um like, if they wanna throw their shit onto the ice, they can do whatever they want, basically.
Mhm.
Basically doubling down on that, like, JT Miller's not doing anything wrong and, like, they're gonna try and playing the best they are, but if this is the best they're playing, then it's like, wow, like, just give us a top 5 chance at the lottery now, if
Yeah.
this is the best we're playing. Bo Horvat took accountability, he's like, "They have every right to be booing and throwing their jerseys on the ice and stuff like that." It's just like, we have to play better. Like, he's
Mhm.
taking a lot more accountability where JT Miller's kind of being stubborn right now.
Yeah.
But I do wanna say because, like, other fans are making this fan base look terrible because, like, JT Miller, he's doing family stuff. He's not always at the rink doing whatever. He's at the pumpkin patch with his family and his
Yeah,
kid.
I heard
And
he got
fans
heckled.
and fans are harassing him at the pumpkin patch when he's on his day off with his family. Like,
Man.
how despicable and embarrassing is
Yeah.
that? It's terrible, like, I wanna let everyone know that not all Canucks fans are like that. Booing, I think every fan has the right to if you're disappointed with your team's performance because they're in front of their home crowd, they have to be playing better. But to go at them in public areas when they're trying to just live their life, they're people too, man. Let
Oh,
them
yeah.
let them get away from the game. Maybe some quiet time instead of hearing nothing but shit from your fans will help them play better. They don't need to be constantly reminded how bad they're playing. They're 0-5-2. They better know how bad they're playing. You don't have to do it when they're with their kids. Like,
Yeah.
this is stuff that parents and kids cherish is like time, get into any sort of holiday spirit. Like, kids love the pumpkin patch. They wanna go on hay rides, they wanna do mazes, but if you're trying to enjoy your time and your dad's getting harassed by fans and stuff like that, how is that enjoyable for anyone?
Well, it's kinda like, what if it was, you know, just like any regular Joe working a job and it's like, you fucked up? Like, let's say for me, I fucked up on a cabinet and I have a family and just some random person I don't even know comes out and says, "You're fucking shit at making cabinets."
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah,
You know, like, back away, and it's
yeah.
absolutely miserable. How miserable of a person do you have to be to go out and terrorize someone basically on their own time?
It's
Like, these people bring you enjoyment for a reason, and yeah, you pay valuable money to go and watch these people play, but you don't have to. You don't
yeah,
have to pay for, like, cable. You don't have to pay for a jersey. You can just be a fan. Like, I'm frustrated, but I haven't bought a jersey. I did buy some tickets to go see the Canucks last year, but, like, I'm not gonna throw a hissy fit over it, and yeah, I like if I ever even got the chance to see like when I saw Lucky Whitehead, you know,
yeah,
like, out on the pier one day, and I don't even know how the Lions were gonna turn out this year, but it's like, I wouldn't have called him out in front of his like, whoever he was with and been like, "You're fucking shit, man."
yeah,
Like, how much of a loser do you have to be? Ah, that's terrible.
yeah. So, like, no matter what, how bad your team's playing, whatever, Mr. Joe Schmo, whoever you are, you have no right to be terrorizing any athlete because they're at least in the position to play in the NHL and you're only good enough to cheer for a team. So you better just shut the fuck up.
Mhm.
It's it's terrible seeing players like JT Miller have to go through this. Doesn't matter how good or bad he's playing. No player deserves to do that or
No.
go through that. So JT Miller, trust me, I know you're not listening to this, but no one, not the entire city is not like that. So
Hashtag not all fans.
not all fans, but I do want to get to a positive part. Well, like Canucks, they did not have Hughes. He's on the injury. He's on injury reserve now. He's going to be week to week. Jack Rathbone, he looked fan fucking tastic,
Yep.
and compared to
Kyle
last
Burrows
year,
too.
but just like I want to talk about Jack Rathbone because
Okay.
last year he was a player who was constantly up and down the lineup. He never really got a surefire chance at the NHL level. And he kind of looked like whenever he was playing on eggshells, like or walking on eggshells. Didn't really feel comfortable. Now it's just like he looks unfucking believable. He's getting up into the play. He's recovering on defense. Yeah, he's having a few mental lapses, turning it over when he shouldn't, making some bad passes, but like he is playing so much more confident. And I'm willing to see a couple mistakes out of him, but he just looks so much better. And he's filling in as that power play quarterback, offensive defenseman that like he was supposed to be like, not really like this in between, like, high like, not being able to do what he can on offense and being very scared on defense. He's much more confident at both ends, so it's really incredible to see. And I mean, someone who basically looks exactly like Jack Rathbone, Rasmus Dahlin, he is leading the Norris right now by far. He has 8 points in 5 games. He's scored in every single game. He's on a 5-game goal streak right now. So, he looks like an absolute stallion. Um, and that's all really got for the Buffalo game. Hopefully things would be better, but I know I preached how bad that game was, but at least they had a lot more scoring chances than what they had against Carolina, which is what we'll go to now.
Mhm.
They lose 3-2 in regulation, but what pisses me off the most, Hayden, and you alluded to it last episode, their third period. They have now been outscored. I don't know if you heard this, 17-2 in the
Mhm.
third period this year. It was 17-1 prior to the JT Miller goal.
Yep.
17-2 in the third period alone. We were tied 1-1 playing a decent game going into the third period, and then they score 2 goals in 36 seconds.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy.
And 2 of the worst fucking goals I've ever seen in my life.
Mhm.
Demko loses it in his pad, twist, comes out, Aho, open net, whatever. Fucking so dumb. And then the other one, a guy redirects it off his skate where Demko has no fucking
Yeah,
chance at it.
Was that not, like, a kick in? He
You
lifted his skate, man.
It looked pretty sus, but I guess there was no distinct kicking motion, and you gotta have enough to overturn the
Ah.
call on the ice. It's very ref's discretion,
Oh, yeah.
which is it's a very subjective,
Very subjective because I
call,
can't
unless it's
wait
so blatantly obvious where it's clearly objective, but, like, it's very I don't if the ref doesn't think he kicked it, then
I cannot wait for the next, like, questionable kick in one where the player's not even looking down at the puck and it goes in off the skate, but it gets called for a no goal. It's like, do these refs not console with each other and talk about what
yeah,
they think should be a goal and what isn't? Like, that one, I told Shaden right away when I was watching it on my phone, I'm like, "Yeah, that's a kick in motion." Like, he lifted his skate, he was looking at it the whole way. Like, there was intent to kick it, I felt like, and it was a clean
yeah.
goal,
It was
and no challenge from Boudreau, and I'm like, I don't know about this one."
It was very I was looking at it and I was like, I think it was more of a redirect than a kick, and you can intentionally try to redirect a puck, it just you can't have the kicking motion to obviously kick it in.
Mhm.
You can, like, put your foot in a spot to redirect it in, that's allowed, and that's what he did,
Yeah.
but it also looked like he accidentally kind of moved his skate towards the net in a certain way that
Yeah.
kinda made it look like a kicking motion. I'm very 50-50 on it. I understand it staying as a goal. Like, I totally get it. It's fine because it was 50-50. If the call on the ice was a goal, you need enough evidence to overturn it, and clearly there wasn't enough. So, do I have something, or are you just doing it to your own?
No, no, I was
Oh,
itchy.
oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were trying to nudge something my way. But yeah, that is exactly what losses the game clearly because we lost 3-2. But you can't be fucking giving up 2 goals in 36 seconds on home ice to a team like Carolina who is very well built defensively.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are we doing here? What is it with you guys after the second intermission where you guys just come out lollygagging and you give up 2 goals in 36 seconds? I guess 2 goals
Also
and a half, but like by the time it's 17 and a half or 18 and a half minutes left in the third period, you're all of a sudden down by 2 goals.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here?
No, I also love when John Shorthouse, after the first goal, he just makes a comment. He's like, "All right, now what you need to do is you need to like settle it down. It was a rough start to the third period, and before you can even finish, boom, the second goal is scored, and it's like, huh, yeah." And then they cut to the Sedins, and he's like, "Now here's the two people that you'd want on the ice right
Yeah.
after something like this," and it's like, shut the fuck up, man. We know who we'd want on the ice right now.
Yeah, it's just
We
man, oh
also like to have
man.
that 10 roster back kicking ass, okay? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's so brutal.
It's so frustrating.
I saw this one comment, and it was like, "You're bringing back reverse retro jerseys and stuff. Can we bring back old teams and bring back the
Yeah.
2011 Canucks?" I was like, "Fuck, I wish.
Yeah, man.
I
I
wish."
think
But
I think my one biggest positive from, like, the weak slate of games that the Canucks have had, Bo Horvat is looking fucking amazing, and I know people are dogging on him because, he's the captain, he should take some responsibility. I think he is. I think he's taking responsibility, and like you said, even in the presser, he's saying like they have a right to boo and all that, but he's playing hard.
yeah,
He's back checking, he's going up, he's making all the right plays, and he's scoring.
yeah.
He's getting points. Like he's definitely on that 30 goal pace this year.
Yeah, I definitely think he was reading into what fans were preaching and stuff after game 1 because he looked fucking invisible in game 1 against Edmonton and maybe even the second game as well.
Hmm.
But he's turned it on, and he's been playing a lot better. He's been the only one fucking producing, besides Patterson. JT Miller is a bit of a overshadow producing because it's like he's not playing well
His
on the
plus
other
minus
end.
shows a lot too.
It's his effort has been lackluster, but again, we're not gonna harp on the guy too much because we just preached that. But
Hmm.
but I mean, I also want to talk about Jack Rathbone again. He put in another good effort. He looked like he was commanding play. He did have a really bad turnover up the middle, but
Mhm.
even the greats have bad turnovers. But Jack Rathbone looks like a certified Vancouver Canuck now. He has to be. If we send him down, then I have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, I'd
He
agree.
l he looks like our best defender right now. Even I think he's had better games than Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes has just looked a little bit soft on both ends, where Rathbone's looked bit harder at both ends of the ice.
Mhm.
I'm just super happy with how he's playing. He's coming into his own. He's playing what everyone was excited for the past few years. But, yeah, we had no Besser or Hughes that game. Besser's day to day right now, while Hughes is week to week, like I alluded to earlier. And I just hope Demko can bounce back. I think he will, but I just think a lot of things need to go right up front for him to play better as well, because he's just getting a lot of backdoor looks, weird bounces. Mind you, he's not
Yeah,
helping us out, but like we also do need to help him out a lot too. So hopefully he
yeah.
can bounce back. And I mean, it's hard to get much worse than he's playing right now. So he will. It's just a matter to what level he can get
I
back to.
also think there's a rhythm while playing goalie, like, it's like a regular job, You need to be in the rhythm, you need to be fucking concentrated, and if you don't have a rhythm and your highs and your so low are so interchangeable, like that one save where the puck, like you said, it just it was in his pads and then it just squeaked out after he turned. It's like if you're in a rhythm, that shit doesn't happen. If
Yeah.
you're in a rhythm, you put your stick back there,
Yeah.
but he just seemed like he's so this whole season he seemed like he's out of rhythm. And yeah, like you said, there's so many more things that have to go right, and I agree with that because once the whole team starts playing better, Demko starts playing better.
Yeah.
In those low scoring games but high shot percentage games, he's making unbelievable save after unbelievable save, and he'll steal like multiple games, but it's just I think the team needs to help him out more before he helps out the team, if
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense.
I think it just needs to go both ways. Demko needs to play better for the team to have more confidence, but also the team just needs to play better defensively and more lockdown for Demko to like have a chance to get some confidence as well. He can't be it's a lot it's our defense is giving up too many chances where Demko doesn't get a chance to save it. And
Mhm.
it's just yeah, it's kind of annoying. But yeah, so we'll go to news around the league. Quick.
Sounds
Actually,
good.
first, I'll go to this first. Canucks play Seattle on Thursday or tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Nope. Oh yeah. It is tomorrow.
Well, yeah, when this comes out, it's
Yeah.
do they play them Thursday? I
Yeah,
guess
Thursday.
we'll use days of the week instead of tomorrow or today.
I
Yeah,
think it's Thursday.
yeah, it's Thursday. They play Seattle.
Mhm.
Um,
In
Rival
Seattle.
game. Gotta win this one in Vancouver.
I
Not that it
like it
fucking
how we have
matters.
a new rival, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah. It's just
this is our rival
it
now.
is the closest team to us, so it makes a
It
lot of sense.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, what are your predictions on that?
Well, with the trend how it's been going, I say it'll be 3-2 Seattle in overtime. I don't know, man. Like I know Seattle's not the best team, but neither is Vancouver. But I at least have more high hopes for Seattle because didn't Seattle beat who did Seattle beat? Like Pittsburgh, was it? Am I fumbling the bag on that one? Let me quickly check, but I still think the Seattle Kraken will definitely oh, I did
Um,
not want to search up Seattle Kraken reverse retro. I wanted to search up schedule.
I don't know.
uh no, who did they beat? Oh, they beat the Avalanche. That's who I meant. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I knew it was a good team that they beat, and I was like, how the fuck did they beat them?
But, yeah,
So
I will go down and say Vancouver gets their first win. They're gonna win 4-3 in regulation. I'm
okay.
gonna break it down to I think both Vancouver has the 2 better goalies. Grubauer
Hmm.
sucks. I mean, Demko's not playing well, but I'm still taking Demko over Grubauer any day of the week.
That's fair.
and we have to win at some point, and I think there's gonna be newfound energy against Seattle, so I think we win. But let's go to news around the league, shall we?
I think we
Um,
shall.
Jack Eye, have you, heard about this, rookie on Montreal?
No. What
He,
what's
his nickname is Wi-Fi because his last name is spelled like Xhekaj, and it's pronounced Jack-Eye, and he absolutely manhandled Zach Kassian because Zach Kassian challenged
Oh,
him to a
yeah!
fight.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
saw
see
that,
that?
yeah.
He absolutely dummied him,
Dude,
sent
he wanted Zach Cassian too.
yeah, and Zach, because Jack Guy gave him a little, like, little tap on the shins or whatever
Yeah.
like that, not even, like, alluding to a fight, but Cassian's like, "Nah, fuck you, dude, like, let's fight." Cassian's trying to play big brother over there, and
Yeah, and
Jack
he
Guy's like
threw his
yeah,
gloves.
and Jack is like, "Okay, yeah, sure, I'll go after you," and he chased after him, got him, and started winning
Yeah.
right from the get-go. It's this
No,
guy is an
that
absolute
was a sick
animal.
fight just
Yeah.
because I know the reputation that Cassian has.
Yeah, and he has the best nickname in the league, Wi-Fi, because he's like, "My last name looks like a Wi-Fi password because it has just a bunch of
Yeah,
letters jumbled
letters.
together." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "That is amazing." Phil Kessel ties Keith Yandle's Ironman streak of 989 straight games played. It almost added up quite nicely to he almost scored his 400th goal that game as well, but it was called back to an offside. So maybe when he breaks the Ironman streak, he will score his 400th, set 2 personal milestones. That would be a cool
That would
game.
be really cool, yeah.
Patrick Laine is to return from his elbow sprain, I think tonight or with
No, not tonight. He's still on
next game.
IR for my fantasy team.
But he's set to return in the next game for Columbus. It was a projected 3 to 4 week stint on the injury reserve, but he's way ahead of schedule and he's returning this week. So that is awesome. Carey Price is not planning to retire. He's unsure if he will play another game for Montreal, but he is not planning to retire at the moment.
I heard that earlier today and I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah, I was very surprised with that, but maybe he doesn't want to.
Play with Montreal anymore.
Or not even that, he's just like maybe he's just very unsure about his future, but retirement isn't in the foreseeable future. You never know. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but
He's in Jimmy Graham territory right now, where he
yeah.
hasn't said anything, but he's still posting like he wants to come back and play, or still talking like he wants to come back and play. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Um Notable stallions of the league. I'm gonna go over the teams first. Bruins getting off to a hot start. They're sitting first in the Atlantic, 5-1-0. And the team we were just talking about, Buffalo, they're it doesn't seem to be a fluke right now. They are 4-1-0. I'm not too sure if they'd still make playoffs, but I definitely think with this start they're going to be competitive. The Metro, Pittsburgh sits at first, 4-1-1. I think their window is still open for sure. And Philly seems to be the biggest surprise, I think, to everyone. They sit at third in the Metro at 4-2-0, and Carter Hart, after having a tough second and third year, he is 4-0 right now. I think he's gonna be I think he's top 3 in everyone's heart votes at the moment after week 2 because he's basically without Philly, Philly is might be winless, but Hart is
Yeah.
4-0. He's been an absolute stallion. The Central team I had out of the playoffs, Dallas, is 4-1-1. They've been absolutely rolling right now. Miro Heiskanen is playing at a very high level. Very good to see. And Chicago, they aren't last in their division. They are 3-2-0. So I think they are going to um dismantle, but hey, shout out to them. The Pacific, Vegas Golden Knights are 5-2-0. Logan Thompson is playing very well. Ian's rookie of the year is a is aging like fine wine, to say the
Fine
least,
wine.
at the moment. And Seattle, despite having not a winning record, 3-2-0 or 2-3-0, they are still fourth, where some people still had them last. So you got some teams playing well, and the stinkers of the league right now compared to expectations. So a little asterisk there compared to expectations. Vancouver, obviously winless, 0-5-2, last in the league. Minnesota, they are 1-3-1. Tampa Bay is 500 right now. I'm pretty sure they're sitting bottom 3 in their division, and the Rangers are 3-2-1, where a lot of people had them, doing a lot better at this point, but there's still a lot of season to play. Uh, Artemi Panarin leads the league in scoring with 12, with 3 other players tied at 11. I'm pretty sure it's like Crosby, Draisaitl, or something like that. Svechnikov and Stamkos are tied for league in goals at 7, and then there are 3 players tied for um, leading the assists at 8. Um, so I think that includes like Panarin, Draisaitl, and Jesper Bratt. So there's a lot of players buzzing out the gates right now. A lot of big names sitting atop of the stat leaders. But yeah, Panarin at 12 with 4 goals and 8 assists. Crosby at 11. Nichushkin at 11. And Draisaitl at 11, and then Mats Zuccarello rounds out the top 5 or 4 players tied for 5th. Mats Zuccarello, David Pastrnak, Connor McDavid, and Brady Tkachuk. So, the stat leaders are quite interesting after week 2, but it's gonna be exciting. And Hayden, do you want to do the reverse retro draft? Because some of these reverse retro jerseys have been very interesting. And I want to get your quick thoughts before we do this 5 round draft. What are your thoughts of the jerseys?
Oh man, they're fucking sick. I hate how they cost so much though.
Yeah, there are some
Like,
cool ones.
oh, absolutely some cool ones. And I know I was kind of alluding to this to you before we started, but I was searching up because I didn't know some of them, and then I just searched up one just to get a better look, and it was Anaheim's. And when I searched it up, it wasn't this year's reverse retro that they've done with the Mighty Duck uh goalie mask bill on the front. It was like the Mighty Duck that was jumping and
Yeah,
leaping, and I was like, I loved like the not really so much formal number on the back. It was kind of like a doodleish
yeah,
number, and I was like, these look fucking sick. Like I love how just just so creative it was. And then I saw that they weren't that ones this year, and I'm like, oh my god, well that's kind of depressing. But no, all of them. There's definitely some duds in there. Like I'd
yeah,
hate to be uh I I'll tell you one that I don't have in my draft order, and that's the Senators and the Canes. They just kind of look like their jerseys already.
Carolina's might be the least creative of them all because it just looked
Yeah.
like their away jersey, just home.
Yeah, like
It,
you could have done so many more things. Like literally a thought that I had when I was looking at it was like, why don't you kind of have lines on an angle but like staggered, kind of looking like a hurricane, some sort of
yeah.
tornado idea. Just what the fuck? Canes? What are you, the candy canes?
Yeah, it's brutal. But
Yeah,
we'll start this retro draft off.
love it.
Heads or tails?
You choose, you choose.
Okay, I'll go tails because
Okay.
tails never fails. Hey Siri, heads or tails?
Josh Allen would say otherwise.
It's heads.
Ooh. Aiden gets first pick and we'll
All
snake.
right.
We'll
All right.
sneak it.
Well, with that one, I think the absolute 1-1. Give me the Flames.
Wow. I
I
was not
love
expecting that.
I love the Flames, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Who do you
I'm
have for your 1-1?
Calgary wasn't even on my top
No
15.
way.
Yeah, I'm going ooh wow, hmm. I'm going Buffaloes. Buffalo's blue and gold with the old buffalo head. I think those ones are absolutely clean.
I'm trying to look for them right now.
They're in the
And I
top right corner if beside
yes, 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 yes.
those ones are clean in my
Yeah.
opinion.
They are definitely clean. I'll admit that. Okay, well,
All right,
I'll go from.
I
Oh
get back
yeah,
to
yeah,
back
yeah.
picks. I
Snake.
snake it.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Ooh, I think I'm going to go with. I'm gonna go with the Robo Penguin
Fuck you, man.
in
That was my
Pittsburgh's.
2-3 turnaround.
I'm going Pittsburgh's, the Robo Penguin. I think those jerseys are
Yeah.
dynamite.
I love those. Like those are the ones like that one, yeah, it kind of looks like their jersey now, but it's different enough where it looks like
It
a retro.
Yeah, it looks like a very retro design.
Yes. Also, I just want to say I did not put Seattle or Vegas. They were my bottom two because I'm like, you've only been in the league for a
And
handful of 5 years, so
yeah, and I think Seattle's is much better. And like at this
yes,
point, like our boy Michael Bartner, recurring guest on the show, he still gave them a high grade because he's like, I'm not grading them on their retro part, I'm grading them on
on
their
their jersey part.
basically alternate jersey aspect because they can't have a retro jersey. So
Mhm.
I'm just saying, like, I like the color and the style of this jersey as a alternate. I'm giving it a pretty high grade. Like, I think he gave them like a B or something.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's fair. That's how
yeah,
you should grade these,
yeah,
but I just for the sole purpose of, like, nostalgicness to
yeah.
me,
It's hard to
I'm
rank
not
them when they're only this is their first year, second year in the league, right? Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Okay, well, now I have to cross off Pittsburgh. Um, alright, you've kinda left me between a rock and a hard place here, I would say. I still love my 1-1 pick. I think Calgary's jerseys are fire,
I just think, oh wow,
but,
yeah, dude.
uh, but
Hayden doesn't get any more picks. It's my pick first.
on my 2-3 turnaround, give me Detroit and then give me San Jose.
Oh my gosh.
I love the Detroit jerseys just because I don't know, something sticks out with just how plain it could be, but how unique it is. I like it. I like it a lot. And then the
Wow.
Sharks, I love it because I think it represents San Jose. Like, it's like such light, bright colors, and I love just sharks across it, you know? I don't know. Kind of hits me the right way.
Well, they used to be the California Seals or Golden Seals or whatever, and I think they went to San Jose, and that was basically the Seals jersey, and then they replaced Seals with Sharks, if I'm
All
not
right.
mistaken. But I think that Detroit pick is awful. I'm sorry, buddy. I love you, but I think that is one of the worst picks of all time. I am going with Minnesota's.
You're just dick hard for Minnesota.
Well, I love their colors, and I've always been a fan of their logo. And then I am in between two right now. I'm actually in between a few because I wasn't expecting a lot of these to be available. I'm gonna go with the Islanders,
Yeah, that one, I
the
don't know.
Fishermen.
I put the Islanders one like in my opinion, bottom 10.
That's insane to me.
Can I tell you or can I say who I think really messed up the reverse retro?
Who?
New Jersey. I
Yeah,
think New Jersey really messed up the reverse retro. I think they could have done so many better things. Like, you know that green that they had on their old jerseys?
the green and red.
Yeah, like why
Pretty sure
didn't they emphasize.
that was their retro jersey the year before.
Okay, well let me look at this.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they did like a green jersey or something.
I mean, not exactly what I was not exactly what I thought, but I think it looks better than the ones that they did this year. Uh, but yeah, I think they kind of fucked the dog on that one. Okay, so who did you go again? You went
I went
Islanders
I went
and
Minnesota and the Islanders,
yes. Okay, okay. So now I have the last two. Okay,
and then I got the last pick.
yeah. Oh man, I'm kind of rethinking my fifth right now. I'll give my fourth. Um, Give me New York Rangers.
Okay.
I like the Rangers one so much.
They
I
were
think
on they were on my list.
I like it because it's not like if you look at all the other jerseys, their arm sleeves, they don't really have like a stripe along it, you know? It's like at the midway mark, it's kind of lower on the
Mhm.
forearm. I kind of like that. And then for my last pick, like I said, I have to rethink it because I was liking Nashville.
Okay.
I think Montreal's looks stupid.
I love Montreal's. But I'm
I hate that
also
baby blue. It looks like they really just wanted to say, let's get more women to wear our jerseys.
I think they were kind of, bring back, like, the Expos type of like, the Expos and the
Oh
Nordiques
yeah,
kind of
okay, the Nordique,
vibe.
yeah,
Expos and Nordiques kind of blue
that's
to
fair.
the retro.
All right. Well,
'Cause,
with
like,
my
they can't
sorry,
really have much more retro looks because they've had the same
the
jersey ever
same
since they've
jersey, yeah, no, that's
so,
true. Yeah, you can't really do reverse retro. They could have done like the all blue
yeah.
with some red would have looked nice. But all right, for my fifth and final pick, it was between Mr. Canuck himself and the King. Give me the Kings
The
jerseys.
Kings?
Yeah.
I think I might be in the minority here, but I hate the Canucks retro jersey.
I
I
like it.
don't
I
like it.
like I like the Johnny Hockey, Johnny Canuck
And you
logo.
know why? Because that's basically our AHL jersey. Because our AHL
Mm,
jersey is Johnny Canuck. I wish we
right, yeah.
did the flying V with the blue, green, and white.
That would
I
have looked
think
so
I
cool.
think that would've looked much better.
Yeah.
But
Fuck. Why didn't they hire us to be
yeah, I don't know.
designers?
But, alright. My pick here, there are a lot of good selections here. I love Anaheim's. I love Arizona's. I think Florida is kind of fun. Um,
I think Florida's so basic.
I think
So basic.
I think Florida's is kinda cool, it matches the Miami vibe kind of.
But like, come on, give me a fucking panther on the jersey. I don't want to see a palm tree and a stick.
Dude, you literally voted for Detroit that just says Detroit across it.
Yeah, I know, but they're the Red Wings, so your arms are red. You could pretend that your arms are wings, and then you are the Red Wings.
I didn't hear a single thing you said because my
Oh,
headphones unplugged.
I was just saying with the Detroit one, they are the Red Wings, and you could pretend that your arms are wings
Oh my
because they're
god.
red.
I like Washington's. I think that one's a cool, retro one that
Yeah,
they're
that
bringing back.
that one is. I love the
Yeah.
eagle,
I think Bruins is kinda cool. I like the bear.
the
I like
bear.
the return of the bear.
They could have done like if you're gonna go like reverse retro, don't go white, man. Don't go so boring. Like
If it works, then I fucks with it.
spruce it
Um,
up.
but I think I'm gonna go with Arizona just 'cause I love actually,
Oh.
no, I'm gonna go with Anaheim.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? You're looking at the same picture I am right now, aren't you? The
NHL.com. That's what I got.
yeah. The one right underneath Buffalo. Who the hell is that?
Oh, that's, Colorado State flag logo. That's
Oh,
the Avalanche.
yeah.
That's, like, their state flag. It's kind of, not
Damn.
a like, it's so basic that I don't even know if NHL like,
Tried.
a lot of people, like, when ranking their reverse retro jerseys, they didn't even, like, put Colorado's on there. That's how,
Yeah,
like
man.
that's
That's
how
trash.
that's how forgettable it is.
That's trash.
Alright, so to go through the picks again, Hayden drafted first and got Calgary, Detroit, San Jose Rangers, and the Kings. And then I got Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Minnesota Islanders, and Anaheim.
Love it.
Cool. All right. Hey, do you want to bring us into some football talk to finish off the episode?
Yeah. All right. Uh wow, what a week. What a terrible week. I think this overall, I think I saw a stat where it was like it had the lowest touchdown scored in a week in like forever. Um
Yeah, there was a
the
lot of low scoring.
A
This
lot of low scoring games. The ones who really took it up were the Saints and the Cardinals, the Bengals, and the Raiders. It also kind of helps when you have multiple players scoring multiple touchdowns.
Josh Jacobs laid his dick on the table this
Oh
week.
my god, I did like a DraftKings lineup, and he got me like 49 points or something like that.
Oh, baby, a triple.
Yeah, but then I took Herbert, and I was like, wow, I made the worst play. Why didn't I take Geno? Uh, but yeah, we'll start off with the first Thursday night game. Uh, wow. What two pick sixes can do to you? You take away 14 points from 42, and that's 28. And then you're looking at the
Math guy.
Saints. Yeah, you're looking at the Saints winning 34-28. I know we already talked about the Kamara struggles a little bit, but and like I said, I think the season's done just because you can't lose to a team like Arizona. I know you have pieces out, but I'm bringing it right back around, baby. How the fuck do the Bucks lose to the Panthers?
That might be the worst loss of the year
Oh
for
my
all
god.
teams. I think it's up there as one of the worst losses, and I think Bucks maybe have they've lost 3 of their last 4 games. Um,
And to two teams like
First time Brady's had a losing record through the first 7 games since
and
'02.
Aaron Rodgers.
So,
Aaron
well, like,
Rodgers ever.
yeah, Brady's had it 3 times, 2001, 2002, and this year, and then
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers' first time ever.
Yeah.
But I think Brady and the Bucks have, like, 2 of the worst losses this year. They've
Oh
lost to
yeah.
some pretty bad teams.
They
I've
also haven't really won convincingly, you
Yeah,
know?
it's
Ah,
Bucks are
man.
in a I don't understand it. PJ Walker is him. He didn't write back along with Gino.
See, this is the type of shit like what changed from New Orleans and Tampa Bay so much that like they both look terrible.
They
And like
beat each other up.
the whole NFC South is terrible. Let's just get that off our chest right now. The Falcons had a nice Cinderella run with 3 games looking like they're actually competent. But let's look at the big picture here. Atlanta beat a battered up San Francisco 49ers team. All right. And then they got absolutely smacked by the Bengals. They barely beat the Bucks, but we're talking about like the Bucks not even being good. They beat the Browns, but like the Browns are like a 500 team, you know. And then they barely beat the Seahawks, but it's like the Seahawks are like the only really convincing team that it seems like the Falcons have beat.
Yeah.
And then the Panthers, man. The Panthers are clearly having a fire sale. I mean, how often do you trade or do you get a first round pick and after 2 years make it a two first round picks and not accept that? Like for Carolina, they didn't. Apparently, there was a report someone sent in a trade offer for Brian Burns, 2 first round picks for him. And I don't know. I think I kind of would have done that just because like you're clearly giving up on the season. And who could blame you? Because Christian McCaffrey is pretty much their whole offense. I mean, I know DJ Moore is good as well, but you got no quarterback and you need a quarterback to throw it to DJ Moore. So yeah, I would have probably given up Brian Burns for 2 first round picks. But that's just me.
Yeah, I think because what is he, like 24 on his rookie contract right now? Like, he's still
Yep.
young, and I think it's easier to build a team around a star defensive end than it is to build around a young receiver or running back. So I think it makes a lot more sense for them to trade, like blow up the offense and then try because their defense is close to being like sturdy. At least they got like JC Horn and Brian Burns. And when you have a star defensive end and cornerback, it's like a lot more I think it's just easier to at least try and stay competitive and, like, build something around when you got those 2
That's very true.
positions filled up. So I understand them not wanting to trade Brian Burns and stuff like that for that price, but also you might be able to find a couple Brian Burns with those 2 first-round picks.
And get yourself a quarterback, you know,
Yeah.
like
So I definitely understand both sides. But I just think like in terms of building a team for a rebuilding team, you want to try and keep some spark on your team. And I think a guy who chases after the quarterback is a good start.
yeah, no, you're definitely right. It is a good start uh to kind of build around that specific player. And I mean, Brian Burns is a great player. So, the next game, the Ravens beat the Browns 23-20. They finally hold on to a fourth quarter lead, but like I alluded to, Lamar Jackson does not look like an MVP as of right now. I'd say you kind of definitely have to put it in the Mahomes Allen territory. And Jev, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see RG3's like top 5 picks for MVP?
I did not.
All right, he had Josh Allen,
Valid.
and
Is
then he
this
had
in
Patrick.
order?
Yeah, and then he had Patrick Mahomes.
Valid.
And before last week started, who do you think he had at number 3?
Before like this past week started,
Yes.
Geno Smith.
No. What if I
Um,
told you it wasn't a quarterback or a receiver?
Saquon.
It is a running back.
Okay, like give me a bit more. Give me a bit more time here.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Taylor sucked this year.
Yep.
Um, is it an obvious pick?
No. But this is who we had at number 3. Let's just say he is from New York.
Not Brees Hall.
Yeah. What kind of crack are you smoking to
That's
put Brees
ins
Hall?
that
Like,
is insane to me.
he's been good, yeah, but obviously with a torn ACL, RIP, get well soon, Brees Hall. Come on. Like, offensive rookie of the year. There's no way like this man's ever gonna get MVP.
If Derrick Henry isn't winning MVP, there's not even a chicken dick's chance Brees Hall wins
Or
MVP.
if Jonathan Taylor's not winning MVP, yeah. No, absolutely not.
Jonathan
Uh
Taylor couldn't even win Offensive Player of the Year.
yeah, that's it's
So
sad.
it's like there's no chance Brees Hall, who hasn't been playing like this from the jump,
No.
he
It
should
took him a
even be
couple of
in
weeks to get intertwined with the system, you
he
know?
shouldn't be sniffing MVP
No.
at all. Who
No.
rounded out his top 5? Do you remember?
I forget. I just stopped at Brees Hall because I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Uh the next game, so yeah, Ravens beat the Browns. Kind of expect that. It's just sad that the Ravens can't really win convincingly right now. Something needs to change. And we'll talk about who they verse on.
They should
Uh,
try and trade for DJ Moore.
dude, yeah, or Jerry Judy. Like, get a receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Cowboys and Lions. Man, the poor Lions. Man, I want them to be good.
I think they're the new Browns.
I wouldn't put them in that
And
category yet
but,
because
like,
at least
just but, like, before Deshaun Watson, like, they're everyone's cheering for them to, like, get out of their losing ways.
until they get like a quarterback that you can kind of rally behind, kind of like Baker. I don't put them in that. I put them in more of a shining spotlight where it's like this team seemed to have heart, but over these last couple of weeks, no heart. Aiden Hutchinson, it's him or Sauce Gardner right now for defensive rookie of the year. I think Hutchinson's at like 5 or 6 sacks now after getting Dak twice, was it? Or 1.5, something like that. But Dak's back.
Yep.
Um, although he really just said, "Here, Zeke, have the ball," and Zeke actually had a good day.
Yeah, Dak didn't do a whole lot, but he won a game, and I think that whole Cooper Rush, Dak Prescott argument was one of the dumbest things ever.
Stupidest fucking thing ever,
Like,
man.
it was
Like,
just why was that even talked about? I don't get
ugh,
it, but
I don't even know. Um, yeah, no, I think this is Dak's kind of get the feel back for it,
yeah.
and I could definitely see the Cowboys doing something next week, especially since I think they have the Bears.
I mean, you
But
said that.
we'll see.
Yeah.
The Giants beat the Jags. I saw this coming a mile away. How the fuck is Vegas putting the Jacksonville Jaguars as a -3 favorite at the start of that game?
I don't know.
Like,
Like, the Giants have had some pretty legit wins this year, and,
they
I mean,
have
so have the Jags, but don't you usually put the better record?
record, yeah, and I know it was in Jacksonville, but like, bruh,
If anything,
what
it
the
should be
fuck?
at most a pick 'em. I don't think Jacksonville should be anywhere close to being a field goal favorite. If anything, make it 1 point where it's, like, doesn't even matter, but if anything, I think the Giants should be favored because they've deserved it.
Yeah, definitely, and I think since we're now just about halfway, almost halfway, Brian Dable, it'll be hard for him to lose Coach of the Year.
I mean, yeah, and him and I think the New York coaches are up there for
They
winning
both
coach
could
of the
be.
year. The Jets have been a lot more competitive, so I definitely think Brian Dable
I just think
deserves
since
to
it's
be up there.
Dable's first year, that's what's making this whole thing like
100%.
interesting. He's making Daniel Jones like he's playing into Daniel Jones's strength, which is running the ball. It's kind of bad for my Saquon Barkley shares, but
But it's exactly what Dable did with Josh Allen.
exactly what he did with Josh Allen. He played to his strengths, and the fact that he has Saquon Barkley just makes this like so much better because it's like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Commanders go walking into uh fuck, what's their field? FedEx Field? Yeah.
I can't remember.
The
I'm
Commanders
so
go
bad with
walking into FedEx Field and take care of biz against the Packers.
yeah,
And
I don't know what's happening with Green Bay. Like, I know the receiving core, anything hasn't helped Rodgers, but also Rodgers hasn't helped himself with any of
yeah,
it.
and
So
I'm not giving Rodgers any fucking like shit. Good quarterbacks can make bad receivers play open.
and he's done it before.
Exactly.
Like he has like what, a 11-2 record without Devontae Adams when Adams was on the team.
Was
Like
on the team, yeah.
Rodgers has found ways to win games, but he just hasn't
Mhm.
been able to do it this year.
No, and Aaron Jones, I don't know how you only give this guy 9 rushes.
I don't understand it at
Like,
all.
it's
He's like one of the more underappreciated running backs in the league, in my opinion.
he is.
He always finds ways to produce when he's given a workload. You can't
Mhm.
just give him 8 carries, 8 to 10 carries and expect him to have big numbers and then you just go away from that. He's a guy who, like we talked about in hockey goals, works on a rhythm. And if you're not giving running backs a rhythm, how the fuck do you expect them to like produce it all? So
I
Aaron
agree.
Jones needs the ball more, straight
I
up.
agree.
And he needs
Like,
more than just fucking goal line touches too.
yeah,
Like,
and you can't give the ball to, like, Dylan between the 20s and only Dylan between the 20s and give maybe Jones, like, a catch out the backfield. Like, that's not how you do it, man.
yeah, I don't get
Not how
it.
you do it whatsoever. Uh, the Packers in shambles. Commanders, Taylor Heineke. Quarterback controversy, maybe.
I think there's always worthy controversy around Carson Wentz.
Definitely, definitely.
And
Especially with the
just
excitement that Heineke can
yeah.
bring.
He just
you know?
he's a dog. I love
Absolute
that guy.
dog. The Titans take care of business with Indy and sweep them.
Yep.
I saw this coming. Like, I just love Vrabel as a coach. I trust him more than Frank Reich, especially since Reich benched Matt Ryan. I know they're saying he has like a shoulder injury, but
I mean, Matt Ryan's played like legit asshole this year. And one of my favorite quarterbacks coming out of college, Sam Ellinger,
Sam
is
Ellinger.
started for the rest of the year. Is it Ellinger or Ellinger?
I think it's
I've
Ellinger, but it could be Ellinger. I have no idea.
I'll literally say his name both ways in the same sentence. So like I have no idea. I just kind of roll with whatever I say in the moment.
Until I hear
Um,
him pronounce it. Sorry, bud.
exactly. Ellinger. Uh, no, but he is one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch in college. He ain't the most like
Flashy.
trustworthy quarterback. No,
Oh,
he's flashy, just trustworthy in terms of like, you know how quarterbacks sometimes when they scramble, they run out to the sideline like Mahomes or Russell Wilson and stuff.
yeah.
He will put his head down and try and run through you, which might not be so like
Might not be
positive
the
for his
smartest decision.
long term health wise. That's why I'm so like he's not very dependable in that. But he's
Mhm.
so much fun to watch. I'm always gonna sit down and watch the game seven Sam Ellinger because he brings the action, baby. And that's what I
Yeah.
love about him at Texas. He would fight for that extra 2 or 3 yards. So, I'm excited to see what he does as a starting role for the rest of the season. It'll be cool, it'll be cool.
Yeah. No, definitely. I agree.
But yeah, Titans just have the Colts number apparently, so
They
yeah.
do. And my Titans in first place is looking pretty good.
Yeah, my Colts in first place is not.
Yeah, no.
Wah, wah.
The Raiders, and like we alluded to, Josh Jacobs, they really showed the Texans a good pounding.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, I mean, the Raiders get what? Their second win? Like, congratulations. You know, you beat the Texans, man. If Josh Jacobs didn't have at least one touchdown, I'd say this is a loss for the Raiders, but no, they took care of business, which is what they needed to do.
And shout out to
Um,
Devontae Adams for, being
Politely
careful,
walking out of the stadium, yeah.
making sure there's a clear path down the tunnel.
Yeah, and I mean, that's I don't know, that's kinda what you should do all the time, like, the fact that you pushed over a man because, yeah, you lost the game, like, that is borderline assault, you know?
Yeah.
But since you're an NFL player, it's fine. We'll just give you how do you do? Um, and one really surprising player, I know Darren Waller was injured, but man, did Darren Waller just have like a one and done sort of season? Like he's honestly like maybe put him on the shelf. He's been so underwhelming this year.
I think he's been battling some, like, injuries and stuff like that, and also with Davante Adams coming in, he hasn't had the share as well. You can say the same thing for Hunter Renfrow. He hasn't been having the season everyone had hoped it so. I
Mhm.
just think Davante Adams commands a lot of targets, and I also just think Derek Carr has fell off a little bit too. He hasn't been the most trustworthy quarterback in terms of getting the ball to his receivers. Because I've seen way too many blank games from their offense as
Yeah.
a whole. So I think it's not so much a Darren Waller problem as it is just a Vegas offense problem. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't necessarily be too worried about Waller. I still think he commands a lot of attention. So I'm not worried about him. It's just like or at least I'm not worried that like the problem weighs on him, if I said that correctly. I don't think it's his fault. I just think I don't know. That offense is just kind of flat right now.
Yeah, it is kind of flat. It is kind of frustrating too. Uh because obviously like you said Adams demands a lot of targets, but it's like Carr, if you want to be a good quarterback, you gotta find other receivers to keep the defense guessing. You can't just throw it to Adams, like 20 times a game
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, we gotta keep them on their toes.
Yeah. So
And
hopefully the Raiders actually do something. I don't think they're gonna make playoffs
no.
this year. I It's so funny. I'll tell you a bit after, but, the Jets, who could have seen this coming? Everybody put your hands up. Holy shit, the Broncos suck, man. I actually hate how high I was on the Broncos this year.
Same.
It's actually really depressing. I thought Russell Wilson, like, I don't know if it's a Russell Wilson or Nathaniel Hackett problem.
I think
Uh,
it's a Hackett problem. I heard a really good point, and I'm so sorry to you know
no,
what?
no, go on, go on, go on.
I heard this really good point from a podcast I was listening to.
Okay.
It was on Veterans Minimum, and Alan Stirk, he was the guest, and he said the only reason the Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett was because they were hoping to get Aaron Rodgers, and they thought that would swindle Rodgers to come to Denver. He's like, "I don't think Nathaniel Hackett is an NFL ready coach. They only did it in hopes to get Rodgers. And when they didn't get Rodgers, they got Wilson as a backup." And I think that was pretty evident to everyone that like they knew the Rodgers to Denver rumors were up there, right?
Mhm.
They're high and flying. And when they got Wilson, they were like, "Oh, I guess it's because Rodgers resigned."
Rodgers resigned, yeah.
But who knows? Maybe that's why Rodgers resigned is because, "Oh, Hackett's gone.
Hackett's gone.
I can follow someone else's offensive schemes instead of his."
But
So,
where
man,
does that leave Rodgers now too, you know?
yeah, like, and obviously Rodgers has not played well, like, but I think Wilson has been bottom 5 starting quarterbacks in the league, and
Yeah.
I think that's generous. It's like he's played terrible, and obviously it was Rippon that was, um playing this week, right?
Yep.
Because Wilson was out with an injury, so I'm not gonna blame this week on him, but still Wilson has not played well at all. So, but I honestly think it's Hackett not being qualified to be an NFL coach quite yet.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. I think it could be more or less both, to blame because Wilson's definitely looked porous in a lot of these games.
Yeah,
But yeah, Hackett, man, like, the fact that he had to hire someone to basically manage his time just kinda shows that he's maybe not ready to run everything, and if it wasn't for the Broncos giving up so much for Wilson, I would say Sean Payton is in line for this job, but who knows? He still could be. Uh, man, every time that a good team with a decent quarterback loses to like a bad team or a team that they probably should beat, Sean Payton's stock just rises.
yeah.
I, I love it.
And the Saints, like, front office is probably, like
They're just waiting for Sean Payton to say, "Yeah, I'm coming back to football."
yeah,
And it's like, okay, if you don't come back to the Saints, like, we're gonna at least get something for you.
yeah, exactly.
The Chiefs. Uh, yeah, okay. I know we missed or we didn't touch on this news. Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. The 49ers are the clear favorite now in the NFC West. I know the Seahawks are winning right now, but I think having a superstar in a backfield where you could make anyone look like a superstar, I think will actually really benefit Garoppolo because McCaffrey is another receiving threat,
Yeah,
and he's coming out the backfield like
they got 2, like, Debo and McCaffrey are, like, the same fucking player,
they pretty much are. You
and
could
now
put
they have
them,
2 of them.
yeah, you could put them at vice versa like
They're
positions.
good route runners and they're good out of the backfield, and
Yeah,
they're good pass catching threats, and they've played running back.
yes. And I don't know about you, but I totally saw the Chiefs winning this game just because like I feel like the 49ers tried to get McCaffrey integrated into their system and didn't really focus on a game plan
Yeah,
when they should have focused on a game plan because you want to win games.
yeah,
But I understand. You get a new toy, you want to test it out, especially in that system, and he looks good.
yeah,
McCaffrey
and
looks good. He looks
yeah,
happy to be back in California.
yeah, and they said before that he was only gonna get, like, 20% of the snap share and stuff like that because, like, obviously, he
He
has to
doesn't
learn
know
the
the playbook.
playbook, yeah,
Yeah,
so
no, I agree. But yeah,
but
Mahomes, I like,
Chiefs look dangerous.
oh, they do.
Fuck.
No, I like the Allen and Mahomes MVP race is gonna be so fun to watch coming down the stretch, man.
Um First of all, yes, it will, because those guys are playing dynamite right now. But did you see that Travis Kelce clip of the podcast with him and Jason Kelce? Have you seen that? They
I
have a po
have seen, like, a couple clips, but
they
which one?
basically talk at the end of each week about each team's, like, Eagles, Chiefs, and news around the league kinda thing.
Yeah.
It's New Heights podcast or something like that. It's really cool. And Jason was like, "Hey, so let me know, like, tell me the story about how you reconstructed your contract and stuff like that." He was like, "Yeah, my agent just messaged me. He was like, hey, instead of getting the money at the end of the year, do you want it now?" He's like, "Tell me more." And he was like, "Yeah, the Chiefs want to clear some cap space."
Oh,
So they're
yeah,
like,
the Odell rumors, right?
yes. So they're like, "Do you want to just like change your cap it to a signing bonus? It'll clear up some space." And he's like, uh, yeah, I'll take the money now. And then Jason's like, is that for someone by the names of OBJ?
OBJ?
And
Yeah.
Kelsey's like, I don't know anything right now. And I'm just like, I swear to fucking God, if Odell's anything like he was on the Rams, and
He'll
I
be
know,
amazing on the Chiefs.
bruh, with
Yeah,
Mahomes and fuck, man.
yeah.
I guess this is what it was like when like I was a like me as a
Patriots
Pats
fan?
fan and
Yeah, and
like
you guys got
everyone
Randy Moss.
and shit like that, and just like even like Josh Gordon, he had like a few good games, and like Antonio Brown signing with us too.
A-game.
He played a game and then just like pieced out, and but like
Yeah.
Patriots would get some washed up toys, and then next thing you know, they'd be back to like all pro level for the 5 games we need them, and then cut them or some shit.
Yep.
But I'm not saying that's gonna happen with Odell, but it's just like, man, the Chiefs, the rich get richer and stuff like that, and
Oh, they do.
Odell would flourish
Flourish
with
with Mahomes.
Mahomes. Just
Yeah,
a
I agree.
good underneath receiver who is built on speed. And yes, he might not be the same because of 2 torn ACLs. Like some of that speed has to regress, but Odell looks like he's fucking ready to
I
come
agree.
back, and he's at the stage of his career, which I think everybody in the football community understands, is that Odell wants to ring chase because he's been hampered with injuries. He has to prove he can sign a contract, and if he's just gonna come back for half a season, why not sign with a contender? Like,
Oh, yeah.
why the fuck would he sign with the Panthers or some bull like that's just a team as an example, right? I may as well sign with a contender, right?
Mhm.
So I think everyone gets that, and man, Odell would. So if that's true, like Kelsey clearing the space for so that they could just sign Odell for 3 sheets and be like, "Hey, come be a new toy for Patrick Mahomes," that would be fucking
No, I
deadly.
agree. That'd be awesome. That
That
would
would be
be
deadly.
amazing.
But
The Seahawks take care of biz, against the Chargers in LA, and, like, man, what we all thought about the NFC West, absolute
NFC West or AFC West?
AFC West, sorry. What
Because
we all
I'm
thought
like,
about the AFC West, oh my god, man.
because I mean, like you can kind of say the same thing about the NFC West. We thought that was going to be a shit division, and now it's like San Francisco's playing well, Seattle's playing well.
LA is
I'm
like 500,
Yeah, LA is always going to be a threat no matter what. But I mean, like
and then
Arizona's kind of
Arizona
like,
was like the Denver of last year.
yeah. And,
Yeah.
but now it's like the AFC West. You can kind of say the same thing for both. It's like both West teams are kind of playing the opposite of what we expected.
Uh-huh. No, they definitely are. And the Seahawks beating the Chargers. I made a parlay. I don't know I showed you that, but it was like I had the Giants minus 4.5, the Seahawks plus 3.5, and then we won't talk about the last part. Let's just say I should have cashed out at $70. But like I saw this as an absolute lock. Like the Chargers haven't been playing like Herbert level type of good. Like I know the Chargers can play so much better. But, like, the Seahawks, man, are the Seahawks like, what the fuck? Like,
That's
this
I think that's
team
the only way you can put it is just what the fuck, man? Like what
yeah,
is happening? I
I
think
don't get what's happening. Ian's just fucking jizzing in his pants right now.
oh yeah, he is having a field day this
It's
like
like Atlanta and Seattle are, like, the 2 rebuilding teams that have already shown, like, 2 years of progression in, like, 5 games.
yeah.
It's absolutely insane, and I'll give Seattle their flowers now. They look amazing. Kenneth Walker,
Beast.
amazing. I That was,
Huge
like, the
coming out
only
party for
guy.
him.
Oh,
Huge
yeah, that was,
coming
like,
out
the
party for
only
him.
guy I watched from, like, this past year of, college football, and all I can say is he looks just amazing.
Yeah.
The Dolphins, uh, they played a game against the Steelers. It was a boring Sunday night game. I don't really know what else to say about this.
Tua came back after missing 3 weeks.
I saw a funny post and it was like, the Dolphins are 4-0 when Tua's not fucking dead. And that's all I really can say about this game. It
Yeah,
wasn't impressive.
yeah, and then,
Mostert looks good.
yeah, and Jalen Waddle looks good too. He had over
Yep.
90 receiving yards, but everyone knows that, it's no secret.
Yeah. He
Um,
just has to learn how to hold on to the ball with catching and
yeah,
fumbling.
and, but yeah, I guess, like, I think Tua might just be like a Jimmy Garoppolo where, like, his team just wins with him behind center.
Yeah.
It might just be like that kinda situation, but he made some good throws, and, I mean, it came out that he said in the Cincy game, I think, that he doesn't remember being hit and stretchered off, which was super scary.
Concerning.
But, I guess they handled it much better than they did against Buffalo. I think precautions were properly taken care of, and he looked back and ready to go, but
Yeah.
before the game, he was like, "Yeah, I just gotta be, careful running, run out of bounds and stuff," and the next thing you know, he's going head to head when he scrambles. It's just like, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna play smart this game, kind of throw the ball away.
Yeah, it's
Just
like,
head
"Bro,
on to
what
a
are you doing,
defender.
man?
Yeah,
What are you
and
doing?"
Pittsburgh, one thing, you gotta be concerned with their defense and how many drops they've had, or they had that game. I think it was like 3 defensive, picks that they could have had, and they just dropped, which is
Yeah.
and, I won't push the knife into your wound a little bit deeper here, but apparently I should have bet the Bears minus 12.
On to Seattle.
Oh, on to Seattle. That's tough, especially when Jones comes out and Zappy 3 plays, a touchdown, you know? Uh,
3 plays,
it's
55 yards or some shit.
yeah, and it's like I thought that was gonna be the TSN turning point. I thought
Yeah.
my bet would be, uh, elite right after that, and, that was not the case. All you can go from here, I guess, is just, yeah, Mac Jones is still the starter. You gotta
I
ride with your guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not like Zappy's playing, like, he's not, like, all pro level, like, he still made, like, some mistakes. I still think, like, Herbert is the guy. A report came out before the game even started that
You
both
mean
quarterbacks
you
were
mean
gonna play.
Jones?
Who did I say, Herbert?
Herbert, yeah.
Yeah, I meant, like, well, I meant, like, Zappy isn't gonna be like the Herbert when he came in for Tyrod kinda thing, like, he's
Yeah,
just gonna be he's not gonna be anything special, but I still think you ride with Jones. It was his first game back after 4 weeks. He never really got game action.
yeah,
Let him settle in a bit more after a high ankle sprain. It's it
yeah.
was just
I agree.
I think it was just a terrible game overall. I
It
mean,
was
Judon had a great day. He had,
two
like,
and a half sacks.
2.5 sacks, and, like, he had a lot, like, in the first half. Like,
Yeah,
he was a
he was
monster.
out there attacking
Um,
fields.
yeah, and I think that was really the only, like, positive part. Um, it was just we couldn't get a stop, and yeah, it was a tough game to watch, but hopefully we
Agreed.
play better in the future. But I still think Mac Jones is the guy until, like, Zappy completely, like, just shows that we can't go back to Mac Jones.
Yeah,
So,
I completely agree.
yeah.
But that is, indeed week 7. Um, Time's kinda running a little bit long here
Yeah,
for us.
we'll just kinda cut it now. Yeah,
I'll go over, like, just a couple week 8 games about,
cool.
like, stuff like that, but Ravens and Bucks, can't believe these teams are both like, mid, uh,
It's
I still
one
think it'll be a good Thursday night game.
yeah, it's one that, like, should be
A great game.
a great game, but it's like you can't count on it
I really
because
hope that the Ravens just terrorize the Buccaneers, man.
yeah,
I think this could be Lamar's, like, bounce back game, you know?
put him back on the
Uh,
MVP talks kinda game.
like a 5 touchdown sort of game, you know?
Yeah.
Um, uh, the Broncos and Jags play in Europe. Uh, that would be fun to see, although I'm not waking up at 6:30 to watch it. Um, my Saints play the Raiders in the Dome. Uh, and hopefully we get, like, people back. I just saw that today Bradley Roby, my our 3rd string corner, was just put on IR. So
Love that for you guys.
If Paulson Adebo or Lattimore don't play, I might commit. Uh, you get the Battle of Pennsylvania, which is gonna be sick.
Yeah,
Also the Patriots versus the Jets. I don't
yeah.
know why we said Seattle.
I was doing, like, the Bill Belichick,
Ah,
thing, like,
yes.
no comment kind of
Yeah,
I don't wanna talk about it, so on to
yes.
Seattle kinda thing,
Okay.
but, yeah, we
The
play the
defensive interview.
Jets. We play the Jets.
That one's gonna be a fucking
It
good game, I
it
feel like.
it could be good, yeah. Um, Michael Carter should be getting starting roles. Uh,
Oh, yeah, also, James Robinson going to the Jets.
yeah.
Uh,
I think Robinson's probably gonna get, like, a Jets type thing or, like, a 49ers McCaffrey type thing, where he might not get, a
all
ton
the
of
looks.
action,
Yeah,
but, I think Michael Carter will start that game, and then it'll be 50-50,
mhm.
um, in week
Honestly, I think
9.
week 9, I think Robinson takes over the backfield because James Robinson's so good. Like,
I honestly don't like yes, but I also don't understand the hate for Michael Carter and why he doesn't get more touches because he's produced when he's
he
put in
has.
given more roles, so it's like
He has. And but that's the thing with Robinson too. Like the fact that they just gave Etienne the job over Robinson, even though Robinson on consistent touches is like an 80 yards, 1 touchdown kind of guy, baffles my mind.
yeah.
Uh but
A
yeah,
sleep
hopefully the Pats just get right, you know.
yeah. A sleepy game that could be really entertaining, the Giants versus the Seahawks.
I agree. Yeah,
2
those are the
team
only 2 teams over 500 playing this week.
it's well, I mean, there's obviously more teams over 500 right now.
No, but like the only 2 teams that are both over 500.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But,
Uh
yeah, I mean, like, at the beginning of the season, this game looked like a train wreck, but now it's just like, this could
nah,
be, like,
a
over
very good game.
city. This could be, like
Oh, this could be an offensive battle, and
yeah,
I'm excited. Yeah.
yeah, it could be really entertaining. So I'm low key excited for that one.
Yeah, and another funny thing, oh yeah, no, at the start of the season, week 8, Sunday Night Football. Wow, that looks like it's gonna be a good game. I wonder how much Josh Allen is just gonna fuck the Packers, man.
Well, did you see the line?
Yeah, it's like 14 or something?
10.5.
10.5, yeah, okay.
But
Double digits.
it's the first time ever in Rodgers' career that he's a double-digit underdog.
This is insane.
And then you got the Battle of Ohio as well, on Monday
Yeah, the
night.
Battle of Ohio, yeah. That's gonna be a good game as well.
Mm, so yeah.
But, yeah, that wraps up the NFL talk, and that wraps up me.
Hey, Aiden Rourke named starting quarterback for the playoff game. I don't know if you saw that,
Oh,
but
yeah, I did. He also was named to start, for at least a quarter on Friday. He's officially back, baby.
yeah. So
Uh,
BC
and
Lions are winning.
I am looking at ticket prices right now. It looks like, uh, if I sign up and do, like, this weird thing, I can get tickets for, like, $30 for a
Ooh.
playoff game, so I might do that. I know me, my dad, and Duncan are most likely going to the game. You wanna come November 6th, just let me know. I'll buy the tickets, just send me some money.
Post Malone's that night. I'm going to Post Malone
I mean, you can go to the Lions game and Post Malone.
at the same time. Yeah, that'd be
Dude,
crazy.
the game's at 1:30.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Uh, I'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
let
yeah.
me know, but that's me.
Alright.
I do have to
Um,
run off.
Sounds good. Hayden_Barton on Twitter and Instagram. You can
Oh
follow
my
me
god, you're just so
on
good.
Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, Twitter at JevonLefave. Find the show at LeftsideHeavy_ on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Subscribe, like, rate on all platforms that you get the show. Helps a lot. That's episode 128, and we'll see you next week for 129 and 130.
Beauty
Um,
dandy.
have a good week, everybody. Peace.